Your repurposed freighter drifts through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign. Oh. Did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils. Hold up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign. Alright, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear sites. Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, 3 strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters. How did you do that? I have the right tools for the job. Your repurposed freighter drifts through space. As a story once spoken is ageless. The dungeon imagined without end. The curious are the ones most courageous. The tree that endures has to bend. From stillness the mad mage is stirring. From countless voices the castle takes shape. Zagig will test the enduring. Those unlucky will never escape.
Trollord Games, join the fray. Trollord Games, join the fray.
Yes.
Finalize what we're going to ship them and all that crap.
Yes. And we're live.
Finalize what we're going to ship them and all that. Are we alive?
We're live. There you go.
Excellent.
We're live.
Can
We're
everybody hear me?
live with echo.
With echo?
Yeah.
I got something
I was doing
turned
some
on?
echo effects.
Oh. How's everybody doing? It is December 31st, man. I keep thinking I don't even know what I'm thinking anymore. It's December 31st, 2024, the last day of 2520, the most important of years as we wind up our celebrations of the 25th anniversary of Trollord Games and the 20th anniversary of Castles and Crusades.
Yeah.
And begin the new year tomorrow with all kinds of interesting stuff going on. Lots of interesting stuff going on. How's it going, Ray Tales? I saw a question as I was sitting here about Canadian shipments of the Hermit. Who said that? I can't remember. It's all the way, but they have not begun shipping. I have not followed the news. Is your postal stuff taken care of? Is the Canadian postal strike or what? Is all that done? But of course, tomorrow is a postal holiday. We will be back on the Hermit like crazy on Thursday. Good Lord of mercy. So as soon as we get some kind of news from Canada that it's a little bit calmed down, then we'll start rolling that stuff out.
Yeah, and I've got
Yes,
some.
Death Angel Shadows Hermit is rolling out now. We got a bunch out today. We'll get more out on Thursday and Friday. I actually have my desk copy of Lodash's Librum, and it turned out spectacular. Dakota spent many hours perfecting this little book. Super happy with the way that turned out. Yeah, we got so many things in the hopper coming out in the next 8 weeks. I got to get Grace and Chuck a schedule so they know what's kind of rolling down the pipe. We're going to be probably weekly releases for the next 8 weeks, I think, give or take, plus or minus, as we roll all this stuff out. Any news on the slipcase? The slipcases are in, so those will begin. Some of them shipped out today. They will begin in earnest on Thursday, shipping out. I don't know how many we can get out in a day. I think we can get probably maybe 100 to 150 out. So we should be able to knock these out in 2 or 3 days. And then we'll pick back up on Reforged right after that and start rolling those things out as well.
I'm assuming they turned out okay.
Do what? Yes, they did.
It's good. Okay. I've actually been worrying about that, but I keep forgetting to ask. So.
Yeah, no, there's so much swirligig going around.
Yeah.
The cases turned out very nice. The process was a process that I'm not keen on experiencing again. But
right,
it is what it is, right? That's what you got to do.
Did you? That was a clever. And thanks for all the support, guys. We're on the level 2 hype train already. It's awesome.
Wait, hype train.
Let's see. What was it? Was funny there. Someone. Let's see.
Has someone bought me a Dr. Pepper yet? Because I'm fixing to have to go get one.
I'm sure they have. I was busy.
All right, I'm getting one right now.
Yeah, so sure. I bought you one. There you go.
There you go.
So Death Angel Shadow says Mrs. Death wants to play a gnome rogue, and I need the Cant book for her. Get it, Cant? That's pretty funny.
Thank you, Lando. Thank you.
There you go. Lando saved the day.
And Happy New Year to you, Sparky. That I haven't answered your email yet, Sparky, but that appears to have been an abomination. He had his monsters and treasures had ink stains on some
I saw the
pages
pictures of it.
Yeah, so I haven't seen any more of that. Thank goodness. That would be a catastrophe. But will TLG be attending? You'll have to ask Chuck that one. Are we at North Texas Con this year?
Not yet. I'm still trying to way to cram us in there. We might be able to send Dakota down at least, I think.
Surely we can do that. And I'm probably going to hop in the truck with him. He's
Surely.
headed to Philadelphia next, I believe. And I guess I'm going too. I got my ticket. And you're going as well.
Yeah.
Someone.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Vega?
Jason's going to run a game there. He's going to run a game of AA. He's going to be there running the booth with Dakota. And, we've got a couple, 3 panels to do. Me and you are on 3, I think. Then we've got a couple. So we're doing something with no, wait. Yeah, we're doing something with Jay. That's right. I had to remember. I get these cons are getting mixed up in my head.
You're starting to get a jumble in your
Oh my
in
God.
your noodle paste there, yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe I was telling Steve a while ago, guys, that we've got close to 100 I want to say 112, 120 events or something at GaryCon, I think. Close, 124, I think.
We got our own hall. We got 125 events going, panels, all kinds of stuff. Chuck is rolling it all out.
Yeah,
It'll be a very, very good GaryCon. We are
Lots
still angling.
And lots of amazing adventures at GaryCon and Page. So look around for those games too. Lots of AA. We got a record amount of AA games at GaryCon coming up, like 12. I think.
We will be angling to get
It's huge.
What's it called, Jeremy? The starter set. You guys are calling it something else. Whatever it's called. I can't remember now.
The basic starter beginning set is what we're calling it.
Yes, that thing. whatever its current name is. Also on the side of the gate, also for the really good news, we sat down, the staff today sat down and overhauled Patreon. Go over, check that out. Chuck, if you put a link up, that'd be great. I think Jeremy's got most of it cleaned up and fixed from what he showed me. So go over, check out the Patreon. We are going to double down on that platform this year and really utilize it. I think to kind of reconnect with everybody. It just seems to be a good place to do that. So definitely check that out. It has been overhauled.
I think the link is actually set up. Yeah, I got to redo this. So long story short, I'm gonna use this link so I can find it fast. But it's no longer going to be related to World Anvil. So there's that.
Yes, we are GMTT, and do not sign up for no org tiers. They will not work. Yes, do not sign up for no org. The GMTT will be pulled off, and the Anvil will be pulled off. We're kind of going in a different direction, trying to focus more on what we do here at Troll Lord Games.
Yeah, it's still being updated
to company and all that mess. Do what? It's still being updated.
Yes.
Yeah, so do not back or sign up or whatever it is for the Gnome and Orc tiers.
We'll be talking much more about that in the coming weeks as we revamp that whole thing. So we've kind of got a good idea how we want to do things now. A lot better for the people who are trying to support us out there, to where they get a better value. We don't have to spend 1 billion years to work on stuff,
Right. Yeah. So and Patreon is going to become a part of that. There's a whole lot of little stuff coming on.
Yeah.
What I'm working on right now is trying to convince Todd and Mac Golden and Chris Harris, Mark Sandy to join me on streams where we can talk about their characters in the world of Aird. Davis and I are pretty dead set on, and we got to talk to Chuck and Grace about this, but pretty dead set on doing a show kind of based around the old infomercials. For TLG, Davis concocted this idea, and I absolutely love it. So it would basically be just me and Davis on stream discussing our products, and we'll see what we can concoct for all of it. So it's very good. What about the Chenault tier? The only Chenault tiers you will find streaming down my face as I try to fix my lighting above me and electrocute myself for the 19th time. Because I refuse to turn the power off to the house.
I don't want to hear nothing about it. I haven't showed you what I use for light.
Yeah.
I need.
Bad.
You want to hear what's bad?
I love them, but it's got a ballast in it. You're supposed to be able to swap the ballast out. The ballast is broken, or not. I mean, it won't come on. I got to cut it all to pieces. So I think I'm just going to cut it all out and throw it in the dumpster.
Well, I got this. I got this new backlit keyboard, right? So I can see. Yeah. And while I'm setting the stream up, it just goes dead. I have no clue what's going on. I can see nothing.
It's a magical, magical world.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. The Viking GM just joined the Patreon. Thank you very much for that. Very, very cool. Everyone head over. We really are. Jeremy's taking that side of things over. And what's really cool about it, the most exciting thing, I should put this in the stream. So, Chuck, I don't think you've put this up yet.
What?
I haven't titled the comic strip yet, but me and Mel.
No, we've not showed off any of it. Real quick though, just to caution Jeremy, I still see the other options in there, just so you know. There's no going nuts.
Refresh it, Chuck.
I did it 15 times.
All right, I'm gonna put this. The picture is in your. In your Skype. Yeah. So we got a comic strip that Mel and I have been working on. First one's already done. She just texted me now, so we'll find out when I can give her. Oh, she's ready for it now, so I can get her the second script today. I'll get that over to her. So that's going to be very, very cool. There's lots of stuff going on. And some of it's going to be tied to the Patreon page. And then, of course, we're going to be doing a lot more Twitch stuff over here. We have 2 new games kind of running. And Chuck and I are going to sit down and finalize me running some period part games for In the World of Aaron, and really kind of get back onto where we should have been 18 months ago before some strange event turned the apple cart over, of which I'm sure I'm to blame for all of that. But there you go. Do we have any questions that have popped up? Someone just said, Death Angel said, what's the link to the Patreon?
Well, I'll drop it in the chat real fast here since I have it open. But yeah, those tiers are still up there. Here you go, guys. Let me drop this. This will be an easy one for you here.
It is indeed, Valley Girl. How's it going, Heather? I don't know. I'm so glad that these 3 cores are out. Once Dakota and I get out from under, I think, Hermit and the Reforged Kickstarter shipping, it's going to be fantastic. We even got a new adventure coming out next week called Winter's Bite. I wrote it. We got scattered art in it. Takes place in the world of Aaron, and Peter did this fantastic layout today. A new look for the TLG adventures. I'm just jazzed all the way around, said Jiminy Glick. Yes, Statler. So 28. I've got to send like 8 pieces of art to Mel to wrap up 28, and then that thing's going to the printers. I'm hoping by Monday we've got to print the Legendary Adventures copy of the Hermit, and then wrap up printing Lodash's Librum. And once that's done, we are on the Crusader. The 101 things that you won in Reforged is called something I can't remember now. Chuck, you asked me today. What the
Role Players, I think it was Role Players Vault.
Yes, Role Players Vault will be printing next week. So there's just so much stuff coming out. Stephen, how is it that I write 3 adventures that sit on the shelf for years, but you write 1 adventure and just push through SAP? I think one of your adventures got turned into a
Johnny's right.
tournament module. Another one got turned into Visiting Death. And I believe the 3rd one is slated for Crusader 29.
It's also sort of a pseudo tournament module as well.
Yeah, well, and last time I talked to you, Jeremy, you were like, well, I got to kind of overhaul it. I didn't have to overhaul mine. I just wrote it and sent it to editing. So it's our 2nd attempt in 25 years to have a seasonal module. We did a Halloween module once that got out, that released for Halloween, and now this one is a winter-based adventure.
We're making progress. Next year we'll have a turkey one.
We'll go for our 3rd one in 30 years. Let's not get crazy, Chuck.
Let's not get
we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves on that.
That's true. That's true. All right. So I want to ask you a question. I know you were talking about it a little bit. So let's just ask about it real quick here. I'm going to move you over here just a hair. And
Statler, you are not wrong.
Let's talk a little bit about this image right here. What was you talking about? Well, you were talking about, then we got off the subject.
Is this okay? So I'm going to mispronounce this word horribly. Thank you, Lando. I'm going to it's Chibi or Chibi or
Chibi.
Something. Chibi. So I was on Mel's Twitter page the other day. Mel's fantastic. She's always tagging me stuff on Twitter. So I always go to her Twitter page and check out what she's up to. And some of her art is just so cool. Her doodles she put up yesterday was just badass. Jeremy, you should go check those things out. They're really freaking cool. I was looking at this little picture of this knight, this giant head and this helmet. I thought, this is so badass. I want to do some Troll Lord stuff, Castles and Crusades this way. And in the past, we've done Scobbits on the Front Porch. This was a short run comic strip we did back in 06, 07. And the Scobbits are basically hillbilly hobbits out there causing all kinds of ruckus with their local trolls and whatnot. And those were pretty fun to do. A little bit more labor intensive than I wanted. So I got a hold of Mel and she said, hey, I said, hey, how fast or what can you do? What is the process here? And she belted out stuff so fast. It was mind numbing even to me. So I wrote her up a script real quick for the first one. These are going to be single page little comic strips that we start putting out through Patreon. And I just, that art just, I don't know, it appeals to me for some strange reason. I really don't follow much manga or anime or any of that art form, I suppose. But I don't know what it is about those little characters. And what you're looking at there is it's going to be. I don't know how much I should tell. I'm actually not going to tell any of it. Let people figure it out. But these are our 4 heroes that are getting together to go and plunder the dungeons upon the coast, where there's a dragon and a wizard and all kinds of stuff. So we'll see if they can't fetch the magical D20 and bring it back to hearth and home. But the chibi art is just so cool, and Belle is so very, very good at it that it calls to me. I don't know why. It reminds me of Speed Racer. When I was a kid, I watched the living crap out of Speed Racer and Star Blazers. Speed Racer was my go-to until Star Blazers. I have no idea why. It looks nothing like Speed Racer. I have absolutely no idea. Plunderers of Castle Chibi. And there you go. There you go. Star Blazers was awesome, Lando. I still have not seen that. I still have not. Well, that's news to me, Jeremy. I've still not seen the live action Star Blazer. I want to see that. The Mach 5 was a fantastic car. I had a little toy Mach 5 once, long ago. It's like more like Knights of the Table. It does kind of look like that, doesn't it, Johnny? I didn't think about that. I hadn't read Knights in a while. That's a great comic book. Is there a comic generic setting for it? Okay. I completely goofed that question. Is the comic generic setting or aired? It'll probably be generic. I don't know. But Davis and I are concocting a trade paperback for the world of Aired. So we're looking at something completely different for that. We're mulling over the Uric Ava fiction stories, or the very soon to be released Castle of Spire, whatever the hell that title is, which tells the story of Meltog of the House Lothian in the fall of the Elven kingdoms during the coming of the Winter Dark. And I'm leaning towards the latter there. I just think it kind of screams for that format. So we're looking at a trade paperback for that. We've got to find some artists and whatnot that we can work with and all of that stuff. Yeah, everybody, thank you for signing up. I assume several of you have headed over and signed up for Patreon. Thank you very much. This is going to be a good vehicle, I think, for all of us to get together, communicate, and do whatnot. And Jeremy is a harsh taskmaster, so he will keep us all, getting the material together that we need to put it out there. It's part of the issue. We get so caught up in these 4 or 5 products doing this, that, and the other, and Castle Zagging is coming down the pipe really fast. That things like putting stuff up on Patreon becomes kind of secondary. Jeremy's going to put it on the front burner. So there you go. 9 people have signed up since the start of the stream. Oh, that is fantastic. Thank you, everybody. That is very, very cool. Do check it out. We will have content fast.
But Johnny asked, let's clarify again, because I'm still seeing all the tiers on there. So you
do not sign up for the gnome and the orc if you are seeing all 5 tiers. You should see only 3 tiers: $1, $5, $15. See the hirelings. There you go. Fear Castle Zagging. I fear those maps. I don't even know how to handle the maps.
I don't even want to talk about that nonsense. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's. I got 400 sheets of paper sitting on my desk.
I need to talk to you about that too. Tomorrow or something.
The 10-foot pole edition. The 10-foot pole edition.
P50.
They were deleted, he says. I don't know why it's showing others. It's a Troll Lord world. It's just the way it is. It's just the way things unfold around here. Did we have any other questions floating around, or I'll just roll into whatever is rolling around in my noodle at the moment? What else? What else have we've been wrapping up stuff, which is very cool. Castle Zagging, Codex of the Plains on the front burner. That's where my focus is, anyways. It's just notes and notes and notes and notes, Dave. It's just notes on maps, and it's a lot of stuff. I got to sort through this and figure out what's happening. I can't re-delete them. My computer says they're gone, so that's all I can do. There you go.
That's awesome.
I got up this morning and none of the banking transactions that were in the bank yesterday were showing at all. Not a one of them. This is not good news, because we have to zero out at the end of the year. We have to kind of, drop all our accountings and all that, do end of year crap. So it caused massive mayhem. Called the bank. They didn't recognize me as a customer. I've been a customer with them since 2003. And then what else? I called. I got a guy over there I know really well. I called Dave and said, "Hey man, blah, blah, blah." And then somewhere around 10, it suddenly populated. Everything populated. So I don't. It's just the way the world is now. Jeremy, you deleted it. It's deleted, but it'll pop up every now and again until it is finally moved from the world of whatever. Let's see.
So we got a bunch of questions in there. I'll start with the first one. Let's see here. Oh, 400 sheets of paper for Matt.
Wait, I want to just say real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Rage. I love that name. All right. Johnny Omaha and Greg Rage. They need a comic book. That's what needs to happen right there. So, all right, go ahead.
Dave Rosser asks, can you have a sneak peek of one of the maps, a blurry photo, anything?
Nope. Sorry, no. What I can show you, I can give Chuck, if I can find it quickly, the an image that we've already published for Castle Zadig. They're very complicated. Very good. It's great. It's fantastic. This thing is going to meet expectations and exceed them. And when you see the Hermit, the way we've kind of laid that out, all that's Bill Edmonds' brilliance there. You will see a new look to the way we're going to treat the Gary stuff. It is a sad and crying shame for many reasons, but that Gary's not going to see this kind of renaissance of his material. The Hermit is just strikingly beautiful. The Hermit screens are strikingly beautiful. Chuck laid those out. He did a fantastic job laying those things out. It's just it's going to be nice to see Gary's material. Yeah, we're better positioned now than we were in 2001 for obvious reasons. So just looking forward to all this craziness. What's the next question?
All right, Travis Spare from YouTube says, "Hey Travis, when our Reforged ships out, do we get a tracking number, or will I get a surprise one day? LOL."
Well, theoretically, you get a tracking number.
I know his name came across the email earlier. I saw it. So
okay, yeah, you should. As soon as that label is generated, yeah, you should get a notification that it was generated, and then you should get a notification once the post office scans it. I think that's how it works. Now, right. There's some confusion going on two parts. The first part is our label makers we had to get a new one because the gear shift broke on the old one that I've had for 10 years. Well, it's given this it'll print one label and then shoot out like 4. So we're really not 4 blank ones. We're really not sure what's going on. So we got a new label maker, and it's got other issues that we're working around. So I don't know if that's causing any chaos on the emailing part. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. However, I can say that when we take large loads up to the post office, and we put them frequently in a basket, they don't scan them. They put them in that basket, and they'll take 100 to 200 copies, just send them down to the distribution center, and then they go from there, and they get scanned at some point, and then 2 or 3 days after we drop them to the post office. It just kind of depends. So theoretically, yes, you should get a notification. If you don't, it doesn't mean it didn't ship. But if you're worried about your package, just give us a shout at product support or on the Kickstarter. We'll pick it up and figure out where we are on where yours is.
All right. Let's see. The Viking GM question. What about the Angels and Demons book? I missed the Kickstarter on those. Will they be available, or perhaps a last chance to get a late pledge in?
I'm not sure how the late pledges are set on that. We're probably going to set that up here soon as a pre-order on the store. Check it out.
I think the amounts are small. I think, aren't they?
Yeah. It's not much. So I talked to Zoe yesterday. We're hammering through the last of the pictures. All of the edited files are on my desk. I've got to go through and address some comments that Jeremy made and fix a little bit here and there. And then those things are ready for layout. That's all the demons, all the devils. I think I have to write up the rules for the named demons and devils and how that interacts with gameplay and whatnot. And then that book's done. So very, very close. Really just a few more days on that, if even that. And on the Exaltum, I haven't talked to Jason since before Christmas, but he was confident that he could have it done and he could have it written in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Got it out. And we've got an artist, Corey, I can't remember Corey's last name, who is hammering away on the Celestials even now. So I'm hoping pre-orders by end of January, print ready by first week, second week of February. That is really
that's phenomenal. That's great.
Yeah, it's coming along very, 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 very.
I've been worried about that one, so that's good. I'm
Things
anxious to
will
get it too.
start-
So
Yeah, things will start to speed up now that Reforged, Amazing Adventures, and the Hermit are out of the way.
yeah.
It'll the whole thing.
Let's see. Greg
Too
Rage.
bad.
There you go. Is there going to be a lore book on the race, much like AD&D's Book of Elves?
We've talked about that 100 times. I know that Jeremy, until I pulled him off the project, was working on race-based
Racial-
classes.
monster
Is that right?
monster races.
monster
Or
race classes.
monster, yeah, PCs or whatever.
But yeah, I Davis and I both love detail on those things, like the dwarves, the elves, whatever, gnomes, whatever. Short 90-page books, things like that. I think that kind of information is really cool. But if we do it, it will not have very much game mechanics in it. It'll be like most of the stuff we do. It's world building material. It's this is kind of this. This is one way to look at a dwarf. This is a different way to look at a dwarf. This is another way to look at a dwarf. Maybe divide them up to give the the end user, you guys, myself, more ideas to feed that fire. So it wouldn't be a canon writing of all of this stuff is the way dwarves are. This is the way elves are. Blah, 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 blah. But we would absolutely. Jeremy says no. We would absolutely love to do that. It's right in Davis's wheelhouse for sure. And so I know he would jump on that. He's working on Guilds and Orders right now.
So, Sweeper AZ asks, it's New Year's Eve. Will Steve's Dr. Pepper be mixed with a little something extra this evening? Or is it already mixed with something?
So, anyone who knows me knows that I don't ever mix my Dr. Pepper with anything.
No.
It's
Hey,
straight
you
out of a cold can or it's water for me.
Somebody
Yeah,
posted
alright.
somebody posted something in your channel down Discord. It's an official release from Dr. Pepper, and it's Blackberry coming out soon.
I don't know why they keep doing that.
I don't know what's
What?
wrong with them. They got it right. What
Just, if you want a blackberry, just go eat a blackberry there. You get it in the grocery store. You don't need to mix it with Dr. Pepper. It's crazy. Jeremy is correct. I will not mix it with ice. I will if they offer me a cup of Dr. Pepper, I'll take Coke or root beer or Sprite or anything except Dr. Pepper. And I don't care. I don't drink Dr. Pepper on ice. I can drink Dr. Pepper if it's mixed with it.
Yeah.
My wife absolutely detests it. She hates Dr. Pepper. With
I did
every
not know
soul.
that fact. I did not know, but I can understand
Yeah, no,
kind of
she
why.
absolutely hates it.
She's probably tired of it at this point.
She may drink one every decade, maybe.
Let's see. Phantom New Jersey says, question, is the Free City of Altamira planned for 2025 or beyond?
So it was scheduled for scheduled for late 24, but Jay had to put it on hold, and we're kind of waiting for Jay to tell us what we're going to do on that. But I am confident we will see something in 2025. We had the release, the kind of pre-release at Gary Con last year, which was really cool, and so he's done a lot of work on it. But Jay's heading that project up, and as soon as he's done writing. We will open it up. I can tell you now, uppermost on my mind, I should say uppermost. There's a lot on my mind with Troller Games and our product lines, and Chuck will love to hear this because I haven't even mentioned it to Chuck.
Oh, Christ.
Is the Haunted Highlands.
I've been talking to Casey a little bit.
Yeah, for reasons beyond my control, I had to deep dive into the files yesterday. To find something, and I couldn't find it. But then I was going through all these files, and it's gigantic. It's 600 pages of published material and some Dirty Bowels Roadhouse, all that stuff.
It's a fantastic setting.
It literally is badass as hell, and it's time to bring it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready about it.
Funny story. The guys that one of the groups that plays at my table here at the house that I grew up with, that's going through the A series. They started at Dirty Bobies, and then many years later, now they're all like 12th level or whatever, coming up on. They're approaching A12, I think now, or A11 or A12 in there somewhere. So yeah, long journey.
I've got great plans for what I want to do is start the campaign, the crowdfunding campaign at Dirty Bobies, and have a 3D image of the tavern built.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
So anyone who joins in can be a part of it. be a part of this tavern. And what I'd really like to do is set up one of those kind of online things, convention halls, where we can go and hang as it unrolls. It just fits Casey. It fits the setting. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good. It's good content. It's really, really
I
good.
think that tavern sells roasted bugs. I think that was on the menu. I think if I remember right.
I do not doubt
It's a
it.
big draw.
Somewhere long ago, we published a cookbook.
Yeah, they've got a. Oh, we got to readdress that, sir. They have the wanted sign on the outside for so much gold per ears. Remember that for orc ears?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
You
killer.
should, unless Grace or Chuck deleted it, you should be able to go to the Trollord YouTube page and find a video of Casey cooking something.
Are you shitting me?
Casey-
Really?
Yes, he did a recipe from Dirty Bow's cookbook, and it was on our YouTube page forever and a day. I don't believe in cooking. Chuck, how is Paige going to be looking enough for a tournament? That is a question for you, Chuck, not for me.
Where's that? What's the question? Oh, I got more questions for you too. We got involved. I got involved in other stuff. I'm in the stream, man. Chuck, how is Page Convention looking enough for tournament? Well, here's what we're going to do. We only have one table with 3 players on it, Statler, for right now. So I went ahead and changed it to one table of 8 players because we've got other people that have said now they want to play in it. So I figure we'll run it for 8 folks and we'll have a battle royale is what we're going to do, right? That's a new con for us. We don't really have ourselves, it's the second year for Page, so it's new to everybody, right? And we probably should have waited a year to do the tournament. Like at Gary Con, I know that tournament will fill up. The Gary Con Open always fills up. It'll be a real big success. We do prizes and trophies and all that goodness. But for Page, we'll have to kind of work our way in, right? So this year, I think I'm just going to do the thing where we're going to let everybody play and we'll give away some prizes and just have a blast, Yeah, no worries, man. I think you signed up for it, didn't you? I think so. I think you're one of the ones that signed up for it. So, on another note from Greg Rage, I bought the CNC Online Manager back in December 4th. How can I access it? Well, Greg, if you will email us at product support, we will get you over to we'll get the people that set it up on the back end. They'll get some information from you and take good care of you, buddy. Just email us there and we'll get you straightened out. No problem.
Michael Crimmins says, I am currently prepping the Undying War good stuff. Thank you, Michael. That is a wild adventure.
I've had a blast with it, man.
I'm actually in it now. I'm running Chris Todd and Dakota in it now, and we went to A0, skipped A1, and went right to A2. So
Did I tell you what I did about the Death Knight, putting that Death Knight in there?
You did.
I've got a picture of them flipping me off. The guy, they got pissed because I killed a guy with a Death Knight, and he flipped me off as I was taking a picture of everybody, like, yay. But he wasn't. He was the only one like flipping me off because he was pissed. That was such a momentous occasion. That's such an awesome. It was awesome. That's all I can say. It was awesome.
Good stuff.
Johnny Omaha, question: have you seen Behind the Screen episode 1?
Behind the screen, I have not. No.
Is this like Behind the Green Door, Johnny? What are you at after here, buddy? What's up?
Is this Johnny? Is this the one that you and Grace concocted? I think that's what you're talking about. I'm not going to swear to it, but I have not.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, right. All right.
Start buying Dr. Pepper. Yes, Tome of the Grey Raven.
Let's
We
see.
have a Dr. Pepper party.
From D and John, question, may have missed it, but if Canada orders for Hermit Reforged been sent months ago, John, where you been, buddy? Months ago. No, we were holding off on the Canadian stuff. We did talk about it earlier, right, Steve? I think you mentioned it.
Yes, we did. We're kind of waiting to see what's happening with their postal service. Once Thursday gets around, we'll dive into that a little bit deeper and see where we are. The PHB on Foundry.
Another Chuck question. No, it's ready now. We're working on the back end. We're having some problems connecting Foundry to our server, but it's ready to go. They're actually, Dan and them's doing a hell of a job. That's all. They're much faster than I anticipated. So it's coming along pretty good. I think, yeah. So, but it should be out. I hope we'll have this problem solved in the next week or so. I wanted to have it out before New Year's Eve, but that didn't work. But it'll be out in the next week or so. Sure.
Oh, well, that's really good.
Yeah, really good. They've done
Maybe
great.
Canada becomes a state. There you go.
Let's see. Phantom New Jersey suggestion: details on those races through the prism of the TLG world specifically would be beneficial as opposed to say dwarves from anywhere. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, what we would do, I would do it like we're doing Celestials and we did Tome of the Unclean. So you would definitely have it. The dominant would be kind of the stereotype. And then if you look in the Codex of Arab, these are the halflings, and then we give a couple of things at the bottom that you might want to halflings like this or halflings like that. And this way, it doesn't. What I don't like to do from a publisher's perspective, because people tend to treat stuff as once it's written as canon, and other people who get us, I don't really want to see. Like, I don't necessarily look at elves as Tolkien elves. I think Tolkien elves are fantastic. But I kind of look at elves, because they're immortal, as kind of in a hurry. They're not just sitting there waiting, pontificating on the nature of time or whatever. They understand how fleeting things are, how very, very fast, death comes to trees or whatever in the span of, immortality. So they're always a little bit in a hurry. They're always kind of moving forward because they want to get the garden grown just, and the trees grown just how they want it, so that they can live this, because they know it's very, very temporary. So I don't really look at elves as this kind of slow moving. I like more the Silmarillion elves. When you look at Feanor and those elves, they're rash and filled with this lust of life and all of that. So I think that if we are able to clear our schedule enough to go down that road, which I think that we will, you'll see this more generalized stereotypes, definitely, but there's more generalized approach so that people can see. But then you're going to see in Erd, this is what elves are like. In Erd, this is what dwarves are like. So you get a very, very crystal
I would
clear
like to
idea.
see that setting specific would be better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll lean on it, no doubt. And who knows, it may end up more than the other. It may end up we just do the Erd stuff, and then we say, but you might want to do dwarves like this, but
because they are unique, as they should be for a setting to make it unique, right? So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I just hate cornering gamers. I hated being cornered as a gamer, and we don't want to get too much into the habit of that. Stephen draws further inspiration for the most boringest book ever written. Don't be surprised. The Silmarillion is the greatest of fantasy novels.
It is awesome.
I can't decide, if I was given one last book to read on my deathbed, it would either be True Grit or the Silmarillion. I don't know which one.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
True
Grit.
The crafty DM. Hey, Chris. Good to see you, buddy. Asks, my players feel the XP penalty for class and a half multi-classing is too steep. Is there a logic how the penalties were derived? That's a good question, because I don't use multi-class, and I don't think we don't use it. Chris, that's the solution. Just don't use it.
That's Mark Sandy. Mark Sandy designed those rules.
That's right.
And I really like them. I don't really remember looking over the experience class. I think that I'm a little surprised. Let me rephrase it. I would be a little surprised if he thought they were too steep, because he loves to multi-class. He loves to class and a half. He loves to take any class and then kind of build off of it. So I'd be a little surprised if he made it too steep. My guess would be that not having looked at it in a while. And for those of you who don't know, just joining us, my name is Stephen Chenault, and though I run Troller Games, I do a lot of writing for Troller Games. Mac Golden and Davis Chenault designed Castles and Crusades with some input from Mark Sandy, Josh Tuning. There's a couple of others that helped kind of, tweak certain rules. Tuning did the encumbrance rules. Mark Sandy did the class and a half. I have designed some, but mostly mine is for other works, and most of mine's just kind of background, flavor, how-tos, that kind of stuff. So this is a dangerous question for me to answer. But I'm going to answer it. I've known Mark for 30, 40 years, whatever it is. My guess is that he made them a little bit powerful, but wanted that power balanced by experience points progression. One of the philosophies of C&C, I remember Mac drilling this into my head, that no classes can surpass the 4 primary: fighter, rogue, wizard, and cleric. So my guess is that Mark wanted to make certain that the penalties there were enough that those classes didn't surpass the 4. That would be my guess. Him hawed and hobbled out answer. Hope that helped.
Let's see. Michael, I'll follow it up with one thing real quick on the tail end of that. Sparky commented, we're using the dual class rules out of the player's archive, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. So there's some stuff around for sure. Michael Crimmon from YouTube asks, one more question. Will the monster manual have drag and drop tokens? I'm pretty sure they're doing some drag and drop. I'm not 100% sure on that, Michael. Some of the things we had to negotiate a price to get it done quickly and efficiently. So some of the stuff I think there'll be some automation on a lot of the stuff, and some of it I think they're going to do later on as an add-on or something. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you, because I'm not part of the development of it. It's a third-party company. We're using Rip Tabbert Adventures to develop it, but they're good guys, and you can most certainly hop in our Discord and see them over there and ask them about it. They have their own channel over there where you can ask questions and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. That's the best I know about it right now, but it seems like some of it is drag and drop. I just can't remember that part. Let's see. Robert Rebus from YouTube. Robert Rebus.
Thank you, the crafty DM.
Will you have copies of your GM Tricks of the Trade book at Page? Oh, will he ever?
Yes. So I'm going to put a caveat on Page. We have to drive a pickup truck to Page. So assuming the weather allows us to get through, but I'm not going to have Dakota drive over the is it the Alleghenies? Whatever. It's not the White
Up
Mountains.
that way it is, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to have Dakota drive through a snowstorm in the Alleghenies. But snowstorms aside, yes, we will absolutely have the GM Tricks of the Trade there.
That's right.
Without a doubt.
And I might even bring a whole suitcase of them with me for him to sign for everybody. They can go buy one off. Anyway, let's see.
Thank you, Michael Kramer.
Alien Gare asks, not a stupid question. Of course it's not. No question is stupid. Those that are unasked. What about the Oriental Adventure style book for samurai, ninjas, and the like? I believe that's in the list, isn't it? Right?
It is. We've had 2 submitted to us. I can't remember the titles of them now, and both authors just vanished. I haven't talked to them in years, like 3 or 4 years, pre-COVID, I think. But I would absolutely love to do something like that. We will definitely do. We're kind of in the process of overhauling the Mythos series. I don't know if that material would fit into a Codex Japanese. I'm not sure what terminology we would use for Japan. I would rather see it be its own so that we could really flesh out the Asian, archers. The Japanese archers are badass. If you've watched any of these Korean or Japanese movies, what is the one that just came out? Shogun. Then there was a Korean.
What's the one? What's the one where all those arrows are coming down that dude? It's an older one, Warlord or something. Remember that one?
There's War of Arrows. There's so many good movies that have very different classes that we could build upon. I think would be very, very cool. I will have to, of course, if and when we do that, I'll have to get my mind around a ninja, another assassin in another book, and having been scarred by American Ninja 3, the movie. I'm not sure.
I was not expecting that to come out, man. Holy shit.
I'm not sure I can recover from that, but hopefully.
Oh, dude, that's funny. Anyway, was that the end of your answer? I wasn't for sure. I was laughing.
That's the best I can do right now.
Greg Rage asks, question, why is 2-weapon fighting so painfully steep into hits?
Because fighting 2 weapons is very difficult. I think it's extremely difficult. Most people can't walk and chew gum at the same time. No, I think it's very difficult to fight with 2 weapons. So a lot of training goes into it. And then part of the issue, once you start getting high levels, if there's no minuses on there, the fighter becomes an unstoppable force of nature. So it kind of puts a little bit of brakes on the fighters there. But I think really it was from a perspective of ours that fighting 2-handed is extremely, extremely difficult. People do it. You can train, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. But I think it's a whole different world. Was Ninja 3 filmed in Arkansas? Maybe. I don't know. The movie was just crazy. I just remember watching it years ago with Todd. It was just absolutely crazy.
Let's see. Viking GM. What can you tell us about the reworks of the Mythology series? I'm very excited about that myself since we're talking about.
So I haven't had an update in probably 3 weeks between Christmas and now New Year's and getting reforged and stuff done. I haven't actually sat down with Finn and gone over some stuff. I know he's almost done, if not finished, the finished book. And what was the other? Germania was the other one he's working on. So each of these books, first we're going to launch the finished book. So there's something new, brand new content. We will follow that up with Codex Germania. And then I'm not the Celtic book we're going to leave as is. That book is fantastic. We're going to split the Roman. Right now we've got Codex Classicum. We're going to split that into two, Greek and Roman. And Finn had an absolutely fantastic idea there. He wants to have the Greek Codex focus on mythology and the Roman Codex focus on government. That's kind of how the mythologies in Rome worked a little bit more than in Greece. Yeah, so those will all be on the deck. I'm not sure what we'll probably do a pretty hefty overhaul of the Slavorum book. I think that what he wants to do is a Baltic one as opposed to a Slavorum one, and kind of focus on that. A lot of that stuff that's in Slavorum, I think, is a little bit closer to the Baltic. So lots and lots and stuff, and it's on deck now. It's really me sitting down with Finn and saying, where are we and what kind of timeline do you need to finish this up and get this thing rolling out? And as soon as the finished book is done, we'll start art searching and start putting it together. So soon, very, very soon.
Okay.
Once these things are off deck, and they're mostly off deck now, we can get back to where we were.
Okay. Stetler says,
You're going to love it, Jeremy. You're going to love every minute of it.
Stetler says, let me guide your focus back to the Plains book.
Yes. I haven't got a lot of work done, but every day I've done a little bit of work for the past couple of weeks. I've done
that's
a little
good.
bit of work on Pandemonium. It's like 15 to 30 minutes a day. I'm just getting something done. And Davis and I did a whole bunch of kind of concepts back and forth for Pandemonium. I'm almost done with Pandemonium. I think I got maybe a couple of thousand words left, and then Back to Hell, and then that's done. So the Codex of the Plains is fixing to become my primary focus as soon. Soon. Yes, Tyler. Soon.
Let's see. Ryan Hale from YouTube asks, I'm running the Undying War. Any tips?
Yeah. So when you're running the Undying War, don't do it too linear. Don't think I'm gonna play through A1, go to A or A0, A1, A2, A3, and they're gonna gain levels. Definitely throw in side adventures, side quests. Anytime the players go off into the wandering fields over there, encourage them to do that, and then drag them back to the task at hand. It's really about A5 or 6, I think, that it gets a little bit task oriented. As you're at that point, you're kind of moving after, and maybe A9, but I think it's not A5, A6, A7, somewhere around in there. You're going to get a little bit more task oriented. So definitely before that, have lots of side adventures, lots of side people, NPCs, all of that stuff. That's definitely how, when I run any of the content from the Undying War, I take, this A1 is a couple of night sessions, but we're going to have 2 months of sessions in and around A1. Sparky says we started A0 3 years ago. Still haven't started on A1 due to side quest. Somehow Village of Hamlet got it in every place.
That sounds like the right way to run it there, Sparky.
Yes. Sparky speaking the old religion.
Fred Daniel from YouTube says, I think you're the first person I know to mention True Grit as a favorite novel. It's a favorite of mine. It makes me smile to hear that you enjoy Charles Portis' novel. The dialogue is awesome.
It is. Who said that? I missed.
Fred Daniel from YouTube.
Fred, I got to tell you, man. So I've seen the John Wayne movie, and then I watched the remake. Him or who was in it. It's good. The remake was good. It wasn't as good as a John Wayne. A buddy of mine kept saying, "Dude, you gotta just read the book. Just go read the book." And I think I had just gotten into westerns about 3 years ago. I was reading some Louis L'Amour, just looking for something different, to stir the pot. So I got online, and because I'm a book snob, I got online and searched until I found one of the original printings from the 60s or 50s. I don't know. It's a really old copy. I probably paid too much for it, but I got the book in, and it probably sat on my desk for a couple of months. I don't know. And I thought, I'm just going to read this True Grit. I started reading that mid-morning, and I could not put the book down. I mean, it was the dialogue. It's like you said, the dialogue is unmatched. It's far better than either of the movies. I don't know. It was just a flawless piece of literature, and just absolutely flawless. And forget if you don't like westerns, that doesn't matter. That's not relevant. Just sit down. I strongly recommend anyone read True Grit. It is a pure pleasure. Maddie's language, Roosters, everybody's. It's just fantastic.
Roger Revis says, "Is there a release timeline over on YouTube? Is there a release timeline for A Setting Books Monsters Manual?" So, Setting Books or Monster Manual? Where are those in the works? Is there anything? Whatever.
So the next setting books, the next one is the Marble. No, I finished that one.
No, this is for AA. For AA.
Oh. So we've got to finish. So Jason's got to finish Exalt, then he's got to finish the fiction stories for Amazing Adventures and Legacy of St. John, I think, and then he's got to finish the Brotherhood of St. John, which won't take him too long. Once that's done, Star Siege is next on the deck, and once that's done, I believe it's Tainted Lands after that. Though there's a seafaring book for Castles and Crusades somewhere in there. At about that point, mid-year this summer, maybe we're going to sit down and figure out what we want to do setting wise for Amazing Adventures. I know he's got a small setting developed, so we need to look at that and see what we want to kind of expand that out. Or do we want to do something a little bit different? And Jason and I don't completely see eye to eye on the direction of that, so he and I need to kind of sit down and we work very well together. So we will figure it out. There is no doubt. We Jason and I always we disagree, and then we argue. And then at the end of it, we're like, "That's what I said." And he's like, "That's what I said." And we agree with each other. It's this weird process. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Oh,
yes, Gamma World, Amazing Adventures, Gamma World.
That's exactly. It's coming. No, Tyler's asked 3 times about. Tyler, I thought you didn't want those. I gave you a refund on the Reforged books. I thought you didn't want them. But I guess Tyler Moe will have to. I don't know. So maybe he can go. Hey, I got an idea. You can come to some of these cons.
You never asked what he asked.
He's been asking about these Reforged books all the stream. I thought we canceled them, but here's what you can do, Tyler. You can go to these cons with me. We'll get you to sell some books. And no, never.
There you go.
Let's see. And might I add that Johnny Omaha and Tyler are working hard on our upcoming podcast for TLG soon. They're already beginning in the works. There'll be more news about that soon, though. But,
podcast, Patreon overhaul. Go check the Patreon if you haven't already. Great stuff. Let's see. The Omega Gambit says, "Got the core books delivered on December 23rd. That's very cool. Thanks. The colored printed edge chapter indexes are awesome, and the art is fantastic, especially the Monsters and Treasure book. Thanks again. Thank you for that. That's fantastic. I'm glad they arrived in time for Christmas. We were rolling them out as much as we could."
Looks like the Tome of the Grey Raven asked, "Any release news on Altamira?" I know you addressed it earlier in the stream. You might want to. We're almost done, so you might want to do this.
Yeah. So that's kind of, we're waiting on Jason. No, we're waiting on Jay to finish that up. He's had some issues he's had to deal with. I think he's through all of that. So Chuck and I need to sit down and say, "Hey, get back on schedule and see where we are." I know he'd gotten a lot written. So as soon as he says, "Hey, let's move forward," because we've got it integrated with the World of Air, we're going to tie it. We're going to help tie it to Zagging, all kinds of stuff. It'll be all over the place.
Okay. Let's see here. What was the other thing I was going to say? This is from Donkey Juice. Is there any plans to reprint and rebalance the Adventures Backpack and Spellbook, which is Jeremy's dream? But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I've already begun making notes on the Adventures Backpack. I'm super excited to dive into that one. Lots of equipment. In fact, we talked a little bit about that today in our staff meeting with some of that equipment and whatnot. So definitely on the Adventures Backpack. I'm not sure what we're going to do with the Spellbook. The problem with the Spellbook, one, it's a great resource. It's got all the spells in it, but obviously we've moved beyond the OGL, so something needs to be done. But more importantly, the rune spells are in there. So we gotta figure out what we can't let that book go to the wayside unless we replace it with something. Honestly, what I'd like to do is a whole bunch of books like this, actual spell books. But I know that at the table, that would be a nightmare. So it'd be an absolute nightmare. But I think it would be cool to have like all the cleric spells in a book like this, and then all of the wizard spells and all of the rune spells, and just do them one at a time. I think it'd be very, very cool. There was rumor of some spell cards, but those have fallen away too.
Why would you bring that up right now? I think you just did that on purpose. Just don't count your chickens before they're hatched, sir.
Yes, I've actually got a product roadmap in an Excel spreadsheet. We follow it, but so many things, swing in and, disrupt schedules or whatever.
Johnny, pay no attention to him. Sorry, continue.
From artists to cartographers to writers to editors to broken equipment to delays here, delays there. It gets a spell roller.
Yeah, that's what we need.
We do definitely have a roadmap. It does need to be updated for the releases, which I promised Grace yesterday, and I have failed to deliver.
Yeah, we're still going to try to get the spell cards out this year, but it's just so much going on. But I think we'll get through to it. I know people want them, so.
I did see someone posted that Reforged is appearing in stores, and it was not supposed to.
Yes, I saw that. I was going to ask you about that. I didn't know if you saw that or not. I was like, oh, God.
I put a delay on it, and it was clearly not delayed. So it wasn't supposed to release till mid-January, but
Right.
there you go.
What can you do? You know. Let's see. I think we're all caught up on questions. We're just about out of time, actually.
It is about time. King Gunther said, "Stop telling these octogenarians you want a Rolodex. They'll make it and wonder why it never sells."
Now we'll be back. I'll be back in the morning. I'm gonna do a New Year's stream in the morning, guys. Even though we're closed, I'm gonna be around tomorrow, so I'll run the stream in the morning for us about 8:30 Central. Come by and see me if you want to hang out for just a little bit, and then we'll be back full force Thursday for our weekly roundup and probably ushering in 2025, right, Steve? Something like that.
Yep.
We'll do some giveaways and all that kind of stuff. It'll be a lot of fun.
And look for the overhauling continues at a rapid pace. We finished. Jeremy finished Patreon today, or we're finished. He's got some touching up to do. The blog's going to get touched up. We got some more stuff to do in the store. There's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And look for more stuff on Twitch here. We got all kinds of stuff rolling around. So just keep your eyes on the troll lords.
Very much so. Very much so.
See you
All right.
next year.
Yeah, that's clever.
Happy New Year's. Is that what we say, or happy anniversary? What do we say? My wife and I never do anything.
It's
for
Happy New
Year's.
Year's, but it's also Happy Anniversary as well for the company. So there's that.
Okay, there you go.
And the
So
game.
Happy new anniversary year. Happy New Year, everybody. Maybe I'll go watch what's the Meg Ryan movie? When Harry Met Sally. Maybe I'll go watch When Harry Met Sally.
Oh,
I
that's
think
a good
there's
one. Yeah,
It's a great
the wife requires that I watch that with her every so often too. So it's a good one.
It's a great. Yeah, it's a good one. Anyways, everybody, you all have a fantastic evening and a fantastic New Year's. Don't do anything crazy. Be safe, and we will see you on tomorrow. Chuck will be here, and then we'll do a roundup on Thursday, and we'll have more news about where we are on.
That's right.
And watch Bone Tomahawk. Absolutely.
And
Thank you,
Bones,
Sparky.
Jesus.
Art coming your way. All kinds of stuff. So
Happy New Year, everybody. And remember, Trolls stay out of jail. All right. Have a good night.
stay out of jail. What's the new slogan?
We'll see you
Let's
guys.
stay out of jail.